LGBT horror is exploding right now. Last year, I reviewed over 30 horror films with LGBT leads. A number of LGBT horror films have been released this year, including My Animal starring Amandla Stenberg, who also starred in Bodies, 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 which I reviewed last year and is another LGBT horror film. LGBT youth sometimes empathize with monsters. Monsters are outsiders who have been bullied, harmed, or mistreated for being different, and that treatment transforms them. So I wanted to highlight the best LGBT horror films to watch for Halloween or year round. In the comment section, let me know which films you learned about for the first time and which films you plan to watch. Are you a fan of horror films? If so, let me know what your favorite horror film is and what horror films you are looking forward to seeing. If you have a favorite LGBT film that I did not mention, let me know what it is as well. And I want to give a big thank you to all of the new members who joined my channel recently. Because of your support, I can continue creating these videos. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Now, stay tuned. Rift is a supernatural thriller about two men who have ended their relationship. Gunnar, asleep in bed, is awakened by a telephone call. His ex says, "Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and get the feeling that something is with you or someone?" Gunnar, frightened because his ex is alone, drives to the remote cabin and discovers what that something is. The film is well crafted, the cinematography is gorgeous, and the build-up is suspenseful and haunting. The characters' memories of their relationship, how it is written and performed, is as haunting as the story. Rift was filmed in 15 days in Iceland and is in Icelandic. It is available on Shudder, Tubi, Prime Video, and Roku. Hypochondriac is a gay horror mystery following Will, a Hispanic gay potter whose life devolves into chaos as he loses function of his body while being haunted by the physical manifestation of his childhood trauma. He's desperate to keep this trauma hidden. However, when a family member reappears, the past lurks into his present life with his loving boyfriend. He exhibits unexplainable symptoms and spirals into obsession, determined to solve this mystery. Hypochondriac takes on mental illness and creates fully realized characters. It is a brilliant character study as well as a moving portrayal of the real-life horrors of trauma. At times, the film shifts into fantasy, but this approach works with mental illness. The acting is powerful as the emotions. The actor who plays Will, Zach Villa, starred in American Horror Story 1984. I think the goal of the film is to remind us that people who live with untreated trauma and mental health illnesses are all around us and we should have compassion for them. The film is based on the real-life mental health breakdown of the writer and director who identifies as gay. Hypochondriac is available on Tubi, Prime Video, Redbox, Apple TV, and Roku. I discovered Heart and Knife on a list of must-watch Giallo films. Giallo is Italian for yellow and is a murder mystery fiction that often contains slasher thriller, psychological horror, sexploitation, and less frequently, supernatural horror elements. Your vice is locked in a room and only I have the key is a famous example of Giallo. Set in the 70s, Knife and Heart centers around Anne, a lesbian who owns a gay men's adult film production company. A mass killer murders a man connected to her, and then more people around Anne end up brutally murdered. The film is meta and comments on events that occur through an art house lens of a director's eye. What I enjoyed most about the film is that it follows the rules of Giallo under the code of French aestheticism. The twist is unpredictable and satisfying. If you love French thrillers, art house films, and films that center LGBT characters, then you will love Heart and Knife. The soundtrack was created by one of the members of M83. M83 created the soundtrack for the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion. Heart and Knife is available on Prime Video, Shudder, and Tubi. I just realized that I said Heart and Knife twice. The film is called Knife and Heart. My brain just likes it the other way around. Maybe I should title my memoir Heart and Knife. Hot Ways to Die is Joao Dall'Stella's Halloween-themed shorts collection. The collection, 7 shorts altogether, celebrates horror and includes an all-LGBT cast and crew. He has been releasing parts of the shorts every day on TikTok, and the last will be uploaded on Halloween. The collection was born out of his passion for challenging the norms of true desires. He said, "For years I was afraid of being queer and coming out of the closet. It took me a while to realize that living authentically means letting go of that fear. It's similar to watching a scary movie. When you face your fear, there's a sense of release and excitement about what's next. Hot Ways to Die is available via Joao's TikTok account. The handle is here on the screen. Sissy is hands down one of the best horror films that I've ever watched. It is more slasher gore thriller than a traditional horror film. Cecilia, an influencer, runs into her childhood friend, Emma. Emma invites her to attend a weekend getaway with her female partner and a bisexual couple. Emma fails to inform Cecilia that her childhood bully will be in attendance as well. The film comments on the influence of social media and its impact on mental health. It also unpacks unresolved childhood trauma and its influence on our decisions. The cinematography is stunning with common themes of gold glitter, which I love. The gold represents childhood innocence and then a return to innocence. The script is tight, one of the tightest films that I've ever watched. Every word is meaningful and necessary. The performances are brilliant. The ending will leave you gasping for breath, I promise you. Overall, I think the goal of the film, which was shot in Australia, is to expose the things that we hide about ourselves from others. Sissy is available on Shudder. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a horror comedy mystery leaning towards millennial satire. Amandla Stenberg, who plays Sophie, is the protagonist. She invites her new girlfriend to a hurricane party in a secluded area thrown by 7 of her lifelong friends who are in their 20s and from extremely wealthy families. The friends play a party game called Bodies, 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 where a killer is anonymously selected and has to kill one person in the dark. When someone is killed, the friends fight to discover who the killer is. The main character is black, gay, and flawed. Her flaws give her complexity. Sophie, having been in rehab, has not spoken to her friends for some time, and it creates tension at the start of the film. Is she trustworthy? That's what we question throughout the film. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is available on Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and Hulu. Closet Monster can be categorized as body horror and not a traditional horror film. It was released in 2016 and became a cult classic, and for good reason. It is a coming-of-age story that is universal, where no matter who the viewer is, they can relate to the main character. Closet Monster follows Oscar. His parents are divorced. His father is possessive. Oscar expresses himself in an artistic way against what is traditional masculinity, and he develops a close relationship with his pet hamster. But bubbling just underneath the surface is something bizarre and unexpected. Connor Jessup, who is out in real life, plays Oscar. His portrayal of Oscar is remarkable. The ensemble cast beautifully portray their characters. The experience feels intimate, like we are watching in a dark theater and the characters are alive with beating hearts and full of emotion and hidden desires. The film won 10 awards across the film festival circuit. If you watch one film on this list, watch this one. You can watch Closet Monster on Apple TV, YouTube, Prime Video, and Google Play. Bit is a trans lesbian vampiric fever dream with splatters of comedy. Bit follows Laurel, a trans teen who was turned into a vampire. Her coven is entirely female. Men are not permitted to join. The dialogue, the performances, the costume design, the lighting, the colors, the atmosphere are all intentional, and you feel the heaviness of the film. It has a deliberate message. Laurel is trans, and the actress playing her is trans in real life. And in the film, men are necessary for feeding only. The film has a 91% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Overall, it is bloody satisfying. You can watch Bit on Tubi, YouTube, and Amazon Prime. Since we're talking about vampires, I cannot talk about Interview with a Vampire. Yes, I snuck in one TV show. Interview with a Vampire premiered last year. The series centers around Louis, a closeted wealthy black man in the early 1900s. I meant early 1900s. And how Lestat seduced him and turned him into a vampire. The first 10 minutes of season 1 feel clumsy and unimportant, but the story dazzles at the 11-minute mark, I promise you. The story feels modern and nuanced. Louis has pulled his family up from the gutters to the upper middle class through sex work. The actor who plays Lestat, Sam Reid, is hypnotizing and oozes sensuality. If you love vampire films, you'll find yourself wanting to be bitten by Lestat as well. The second season was renewed before the first season even aired. Unfortunately, there isn't a release date for the new season. However, Interview with the Vampire Season 1 is available via AMC Plus or Prime Video with the AMC Plus subscription. They/Them is a psychological slasher following a group of LGBT teens targeted by a serial killer at a conversion camp. Owen, the head of the camp, has the magnetism of an unassuming salesman who turns out to be a cult leader. This allows the campers to be manipulated and psychologically abused by the staffers. The camp has a long history of forcing teens to live a heteronormative lifestyle. Unbeknownst to the campers, a mass killer is among them. They/Them rewrites horror and shows real horror is what people are capable of when they refuse to see their ideology. We can also say that the killer's mask is a theoretical mask that the people in the LGBT community have to wear to protect ourselves from a heteronormative society. Two of the principal actors are trans in real life, Theo Germain and Quay Tan. The actors in the film play gender identities and sexualities that reflect their actual identities. The director of the film, John Logan, identifies as gay as well. You can watch They/Them on Peacock. Swallowed is a thriller following Benjamin and Dom, two best friends. Benjamin is gay and moving to California to become an adult film star. Dom is straight and wants to financially support his friend's move by making a decision that sets them on a dark trajectory. Out gay actor Cooper Koch plays Benjamin. Actress Jenna Malone, who is pansexual, plays Alice. And Scream Queen Mark Patton, most known for starring in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, plays Rich. The writer Carter Smith also directed the film. Swallowed is available via Apple TV, YouTube, and Prime Video. Queer for Fear is a 4-part documentary about LGBT horror history told passionately by fans. Horror is a safe space for many people in the community because the genre is viewed as existing outside of the norm, where we live as well. The interviewees include film historians, directors, actors, and drag queens. Queer for Fear is a deep dive into horror film history, and we learn so much. For instance, the director of the 1935 film Bride of Frankenstein, James Whale, was openly gay throughout his career in Hollywood. He dated David Lewis, a prominent Hollywood producer. We also learned about homoeroticism in mainstream horror and indie classics. If you like learning about LGBT history, documentaries, and horror, then you might enjoy Queer for Fear. Queer for Fear is available via Shudder. Sadly, we have come to the end of this video. In the comment section, let me know which films you learned about for the first time and which films you plan to watch. Please let me know what your favorite horror film is if you're a fan of the genre, and if you have a favorite LGBT horror film that I did not mention. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please follow me on Instagram at WriterVicYates for more about my art and literary projects. Also, I started a TikTok account. Follow me there at WriterVicYates as well. I appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and become a member if you can. And like and share this video. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, have a lovely day. Besos. Mwah.